And that's how, though we walk through this valley of insanity, lunacy, hypocrisy, and the shadow of death, where everybody's being called a terrorist, we shall fear no evil, because you can't get into the realm of a Holy Spirit-filled being, body. You can't have an impact when you're walking in righteousness, right-standingness in the matrix of divinity, currently blessing humanity, calling for us to be literally communing maximally with divinity. So that's what I think is the solution. The universal solvent is water. Water is a living liquid crystal. It's a superconductor. And when you understand Dr. Emoto's work, you realize it is conscious. It is part of the triune God. It has every ability to respond to us. In fact, if you worry about energy and where your pollution is coming from, or you worry about infectious diseases, realize, number one, that through water science, we can eliminate all dependence on any pollution-causing fuel with hydrogen fuel. We can burn water as we're doing now, and we're showing with Live H2O Concert, we're bringing the world's leading geniuses and experts to show you how we can literally get off of all the dependence by the petrochemical, pharmaceutical, industrialists. And then you want to change healthcare dramatically. You understand oxysilver.com. What makes oxysilver work? Why did the NASA scientists develop this for the astronauts? And why did the federal government of the United States not give this to human beings? Why is it that the drug companies now are demonizing those of us who promote and sell oxysilver? Because essentially it is water with nanoparticle-sized silver, which is a superconductor, which you can impregnate not only with 528 hertz frequency, but oxygenation, and cause a tremendous oxygenation potential to enter the human body and basically blow out all the infectious diseases as well as other diseases. All of this is a scam. You've got to come out of Babylon. Come out of her, my people, lest you be infected, intoxicated, and enslaved by all of the garbage that she's throwing at you right now.
All right, let's jump to our next caller. Let's go to Adam in Michigan. Adam, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, what's up?
How you doing, sir? Good.
Good. Hey, Dr. Horowitz. You know what?
Hey, Adam.
Yeah. Listen, you know what, Jason, I've never called into a radio show before. This is probably going to sound off topic, but 7 months ago, I woke up to all this crap that's going on. I used to be a sports nut, diehard Red Wings fan, University of Michigan football.
I've been there.
Whole ball of wax.
Me too.
And
Celtics fan.
Yeah, Knicks fan. Still, and it's really tough. Keep going.
and now, it's just like, I see all my friends going nuts. Like, I mean, I went out last Saturday night and got hammered when we watched, MSU beat UConn and stuff, but, all my buddies were so pissed that MSU lost to, North Carolina in the final.
Yeah.
And, my wife and all her friends are all pissed off that The Bachelor dumped Melissa for Molly. And I'm just like, all right, seriously?
Yeah. Right. In other words, don't get pissed off the fact that they've just injected your baby with mercury that far exceeds the Environmental Protection Agency's toxic dose limits, and you've created an autistic child for the rest of your life. And you've got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of families now. Don't get pissed off at that, but get pissed off at a game.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. And plus, on top of that, I mean, you look at it, and it's like they dedicate so much of their lives to a television show or a sports team. And, they just gutted this. Yeah, they just gutted this economy. Most people are going to take the blame. I mean, Obama said in his fake State of the Union that the reason that the country is doing so badly was because of the high school dropouts, and they're not going to have that choice anymore. And that's the way they're. I'm not kidding you. He literally said
that's funny. I mean, hey, Jason, that's really funny because I just made my daughter drop out of high school.
And it is nuts, but you know what? You got to keep going on them, and that's why I make films, because, movies, some people just refuse to read. They won't look at the information, but we come from an MTV generation, and if you can get somebody to sit down and watch an Obama Deception or a Fabled Enemies or a Loose Change, you can at least open them up to the ideas, because, whether they like it or not, this stuff is not only coming, but it's here. I mean, they announced the world currency at the G20. I mean, Hannity, one of our our biggest detractors, admitted that the global currency is real and that this is coming into play.
Yeah, but dude, that guy's a parade of propaganda.
Of course he is. But the point is that he's having to come around and at least admit on his show after all these years. And, you know, Dick Morris called us conspiracy nuts. At least he was nice enough to call us conspiracy people. I mean, it's hard to call us nuts when we call it and it happens. And then it's like, I mean, for instance, you know, New World Order is their terminology for it. That's my next film is going to be called Invisible Empire. And
hey, Jason, look how they persecuted the prophets. Yes. All the prophets and the saints, they were persecuted. They had a hard time. So
everybody has a hard time. You know, I'm not trying to put myself out there as a prophet or anything like that either. But, you know, I look at people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., and I know that peaceful resistance through information and spreading it that way is the only hope that we have. And I hope that, you know, your family and friends do wake up. It sucks that they have so much invested in it, but I got to tell you, like, if the Knicks were to get into the playoffs, I'd probably cheer. I'd probably be pretty happy for a hot second.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree. There isn't.
And trust me, I copied 5 Obama deception CDs. Here's the music playing.
You know, that's right. Hold over, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Final segment with Len Horowitz. On the other side, it's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com. We are back. Final segment with Dr. Leonard Horowitz, and we're going to go back to our caller, Adam. Adam, final points?
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you just let me finish, I'll hang up and listen. But like I said, like I took 5 of the Obama deception CDs with me last Saturday to the Final Four between State and UConn, and passed them out to a few of my friends. Like, oh, what's this? And I explained it to them, and they were actually really receptive. But the thing is like. See, I have 2 girls. I got a 4-year-old and a girl who's going to be 7.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some nights I can't even sleep. I'm like, seriously? Like, they're going to have to live with this crap, and
well, here's the deal, though, man.
Talk to my wife and my family, and they're just like, well, there's really nothing you can do about it. And
there is
just conspiracy
everything
theories.
you can do about it.
No, you're wrong. I'm like,
well, the thing is,
you can do.
Yeah, there is something you can do, and the first thing that you have to do, and I thank you for the call, man, is not live in fear. You know, you got to take this stuff. A lot of this information is scary, but attack it proactively. You know, don't be like, man, I'm just so worried. And it's okay to stress out over your kids, and you know, how am I going to raise them? But at the same time, there are positive steps that you can take, like, you know, don't make them get the quote-unquote mandatory vaccinations. You know, stay up to date in their lives and make sure that they eat healthy. There's a ton of things that you can do without, you know, having to sound like a quote-unquote conspiracy theorist. You know, and there's a million ways to stay positive. I know a lot of this stuff is dark, but I try to stay positive, you know, 24/7, 365. I don't know about you guys. How about you, Dr. Leonard?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you where positivity is where it's at. You know, my history a little bit is going back. I used to broadcast on Genesis and Christian Community, Worldwide Christian Community radio back in 98 through 2000. And I left there so that I could literally focus on positivity, because every day that I was reading New York Times, Washington Post, and cluing into the news was another day that I got more depressed, or at least, you know, had to deal over and over again with the bad news and the concerns. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? If we're really going to create a new world that the creator wants instead of the corporate industrialists want, you know, we want to have all of the positives. We want to have all of the solutions. We don't want the problems. We want to focus on solutions. But if we're researchers and we're not researching what are the solutions, gee whiz, you know, then we've got, you know, we're negligent. And so I left that. For years now, I've been working pretty much for the last 9 years on what can we do. And there's a ton we can do. We're doing a ton. I ask you to please lend at minimum your prayers as well as your heart minds to this whole concept that all we need to do is marry humanity's heart to the universal solvent, the water, the liquid crystal living God, water. It's in your body. 80% of your body is made of the living God, literally. And so if you marry your heartfelt loving intention with positive vision, into the universal solvent using the universal language, music. That's why Saturday the 20th is all about the most conscious celebrity musicians on planet Earth joining us. No matter where they are, they can join us as part of Live H2O, Concert for the Living Water. And then as we add our music, it played in 528. Hey, Jason, did you know that what we're listening to...
We gotta go, Dr. Lenward. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Okay.
Yep.
Be blessed, brother.
The GCN Radio Network, providing the world with hard-hitting talk radio. GCN, great talk radio starts here.